Have you ever wondered why certain persistent feelings won't leave you alone, no matter how much you try to ignore them? Why do you feel a guilt you don't know the source of, a constant fear of not being enough, or an inexplicable anger towards authority figures? Perhaps you think all of this is a result of your current circumstances, but I am going to tell you an uncomfortable truth. What traps you today did not originate in the present. It was planted a long time ago, in early relationships, and above all, it has deep roots in the relationship you had, or did not have, with your father or father figure. And let me state clearly, if you are seeking to understand the deep roots of your emotional patterns, you should consider the insights in this video essential viewing, at least once in your journey. Sigmund Freud, founder of psychoanalysis, showed how unconscious forces shape us. He warned that the father figure is a powerful archetype in our unconscious. The way you experienced your father as a child, consciously remembered or not, continues to command your life today. You may think you've overcome the past, but your behavior often tells a different story. Look honestly, how many times have you felt a desperate need to please others, even when it hurts you? Felt like an imposter, unable to recognize your own worth? Sabotaged yourself with an inner voice saying, "You're not good enough"? Bent to authorities as if still avoiding a father's disapproval? It doesn't matter if your father was present or absent, loving or strict. The impact is there. An absent father creates a void. An authoritarian father, an internal critic. A weak father might lead to a search for protective figures or disdain for guidance. The father figure always leaves a mark. Until you understand it, you are bound to it. Freud noted this influence shapes culture too. But before transforming the world, confront your internal world. You will understand why healing requires looking at this foundational relationship. It's a hard process, but it's the only one that can truly set you free. Most believe problems begin in adulthood. Psychoanalysis shows otherwise. Deepest conflicts from long before awareness, and one of the most powerful is the Oedipus complex. Freud showed that between ages 3 and 6, you experienced a psychic battle. You formed intense bonds with parents, hiding an unconscious drama. You wanted to be the center of your mother's universe. Your father was the rival for her affection. This generated rivalry, jealousy, desire, and guilt. Unconscious desire for the opposite sex parent, rivalry with the same sex parent, fear of punishment, shame, anxiety, all processed by a child's mind. This is universal. For girls, the Electra complex mirrors this, with the father as the object of desire. These conflicts didn't disappear, they were repressed. The emotional energy of fear, guilt, shame remained, shaping your psyche. You learned desire was dangerous. Challenging authority led to punishment. These nonverbal lessons formed your superego, your inner judge. Think, how often have you self-censored for no reason? Felt conflicted wanting good for yourself? Remained silent before someone stronger, even when right? These are echoes of that original trauma, leading to unhealthy relationship patterns or professional self-sabotage. You grow up believing these feelings are who you are. They are not. They are fragments of an unresolved unconscious battle. Until brought to light, you fight wars you don't know you're waging. After the Oedipus or Electra complex is repressed, the father figure ceases to be just external. He inhabits your internal world. The unconscious internalizes this paternal figure, forming the paternal complex. Freud described how this forms the basis of the superego. The image you constructed of your father resides in your mind, watching, judging, punishing. Even an absent father leaves a powerful, often idealized or feared, internal image. The psyche fills voids. A violent father creates a cruel superego. A weak father, a feeling of no protection. The child creates a psychic father, and you dialogue with him still. This manifests daily. In relationships, you might need to please at all costs, fearing abandonment. Or, you might challenge all authority, still fighting that childhood battle. Perhaps a critical inner voice says you're never enough. The internalized father. It can shape life choices, avoiding leadership or compulsively seeking success to prove worth. To an imaginary father, the child's psyche represses deep conflicts, transforming them into automatic patterns. What's unresolved repeats. This is compulsive repetition. You don't just carry the paternal complex, you relive it, attracting similar dynamics. Until you understand this cycle, you're doomed to repeat it. There's an internalized father figure, a model dictating feelings and reactions, but a more treacherous mechanism keeps these patterns active, compulsive repetition. As Freud called it, the unconscious doesn't just hide pain, it seeks to elaborate, to resolve pending issues. Since you lack conscious access to original wounds, you recreate situations echoing unresolved Childhood trauma, relationships, experiences, emotional patterns. Like a scratched record, you repeat scripts, hoping unconsciously for a different ending. Example, you choose partners who treat you with coldness, like an emotionally distant father, hoping this time for love, but usually finding the same pain. Or you seek controlling partners, reliving old dynamics. Even rebellion is part of the cycle. What's repressed returns disguised in your choices and reactions. Changing external situations isn't enough. The unconscious programming needs redefinition. Are you doomed to repeat this? No. But the way out requires confronting these hidden forces. Society itself reinforces these patterns. The father archetype is embedded in institutions, God, state leaders, bosses, all demanding obedience. This cultural superego feeds your individual one. Liberation requires questioning these narratives. But first, look within. How to break free. Awareness is the first step. The fact you're reflecting is a rupture. But awareness isn't enough. The mind has defenses. The second step is constant observation. Map your automatic reactions. When do you feel excessive guilt? Submit. Feel disproportionate anger? Seek approval. Observe, write, make patterns visible. Connect current patterns to unconscious roots. If you always choose critical partners, is it the voice of an internalized father saying you're not good enough? Connecting pattern to root dissolves its power, but self-observation has limits. The third, most crucial step is often therapeutic work. Psychoanalysis or deep therapy helps explore your psyche, bring repressed content to consciousness, work through unresolved conflicts, and reframe the internalized paternal image. Therapy helps recognize that the critical voice isn't yours, the fear isn't yours, the compulsion to repeat is an old script you can rewrite. Choose a therapist who understands unconscious dynamics. It's a demanding but transformative process. Reflective writing and mindful meditation can complement this. You now understand what you compulsively repeat. What paralyzes or sabotages you isn't a simple personality flaw. It's an old drama. The figure of your father shaped your unconscious. Not facing this truth condemns you to repeat patterns. But you don't have to be a prisoner of your history. What's repressed can be worked through. The unconscious can be illuminated. The process is deep, involves pain, but offers inner freedom, making choices that are truly yours, not automatic repetitions. This requires commitment to self-knowledge and healing. Now, I want to invite you to a first act of freedom. Write in the comments below what resonated most with you in this video. What pattern do you notice you have been repeating? What insight did you have about your own story? The simple act of naming is an important step. And don't stop here. If this journey of liberation calls to you, show your support by clicking the like button. It helps these vital conversations reach more people. To continue exploring profound psychological insights, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There are important pieces of this puzzle you still need to know to move forward. Thank you for watching. True freedom is a journey. See you in the next video.